The Calvinist's best foot forward. In defending our God's honor and character, great care is being taken to accurately understand Calvinism. So let us carefully consider White's arguments as he develops them from John chapter 6, verses 37 to 45, a scripture that he calls the clearest exposition of what critics call extreme Calvinism. White writes, literally, Jesus says, "No man is able to come to me." These are words of incapacity, and they are placed in a universal context. All men lack the ability to come to Christ in and of themselves. That is Paul's dead in sin, Ephesians 2, verse 1, and unable to please God, Romans chapter 8, verse 8. It is the Reformed doctrine of total depravity, man's inability here being taught by the Lord, who knows the hearts of all men. All men would be left in the hopeless position of unable to come unless God acts, and he does by drawing some, but not all men, unto Christ. No man can will to come to Christ outside of this divine drawing. Reformed scholars assert that the ones who are drawn are the ones who are given by the Father to the Son, that is, the elect. It cannot be asserted that the Father is drawing every single individual human being, or universalism, everyone is saved, would be the result, for all who are drawn are likewise raised up at the last day. Where in this passage does Jesus mention total depravity, or dead in sin, or incapacity, or unable to please God, or anything about an elect? None of these Calvinist theories is there, nor is their part of tulip even implied. Jesus does not say that the drawing must be limited to the elect, or universalism would be the result. Nor does he say that the drawing is irresistible or unconditional. Yet Sproul says, draw means to compel, and Pink insists it means impel. Yarbrough writes, it is hard to imagine a more explicit description of the Lord's selective and effectual drawing activity. On the contrary, those ideas are imposed upon the text because Calvinism requires them. They are not stated by Christ. Christ does not say that everyone who is drawn will actually come to him and be saved. Yet White is joined by a host of others who consider this to be one of the premier predestination passages, and a proof text for irresistible grace. Vance cites no less than 13 authors of that persuasion. Schreiner and Ware also claim that the one who is drawn is also raised up on the last day. Yet Christ clearly says it is those who actually come to him whom he will raise up at the last day. Calvinists read into Christ's words what isn't there. He actually said, 1. All that the Father giveth me, not all he draws, shall come to me. 2. And him that cometh to me, not every one the Father draws, I will in no wise cast out. 3. And this is the Father's will, that of all which he giveth me, not all whom he draws, I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at the last day. 4. Every one which seeth the Son, and believeth on him, not all who are drawn, may have everlasting life, and I will raise him up. 5. No man can come to me, except the Father, which hath sent me, draw him. All who come have been drawn, not all who are drawn come. And I will raise him up at the last day. All who will be raised up have been drawn, but not all who have been drawn will be raised up. Read the entire text again carefully. John chapter 6, verses 35 to 65. Christ does not say that all whom the Father draws, but all whom he gives to the Son will come to him, and he will lose none of them whom the Father gives him. They will all be raised at the last day. Of whom is Christ speaking? We have seen that the Bible teaches that in God's foreknowledge, He knew who would believe and who would reject the gospel. The former are those whom the Father has given to the Son. There is nothing here about causing a select number to believe unto salvation, and choosing not to save the rest of mankind. Christ says that no one can come to Him unless the Father draws him, but He doesn't say that everyone whom the Father draws actually comes to the Son and is saved. All Scripture testifies to a genuine desire on God's part for all to be saved. Salvation has been procured by Christ, and is genuinely offered to whosoever will believe. But not everyone believes. God's sincere desire for all to be saved is stated so often and clearly by prophets, Christ and His apostles, that we dare not see a contrary interpretation in this passage. The element of the Father drawing is mentioned by Christ only in this one passage. On the other hand, the promise is encountered repeatedly throughout John's Gospel, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish. He that believeth on the Son hath everlasting life. He that believeth not the Son shall not see life. If any man thirst, let him come unto me, and drink, etc. Christ's statement is clear that not every one who is drawn, but every one which seeth the Son, and believeth on Him, may have everlasting life. John chapter 6, verse 40. In this passage we encounter not unconditional election or irresistible grace, but human responsibility.